Good morning, my free folk. So, what do we got? We got flat markets. We got Feds ahead of us. Um, Yesterday morning was kind of a drag, but the afternoon, right after I hopped offline, we had a really good trade. Yeah, it's on the other sheet, but yeah, I jumped offline. We broke down. Actually, it was on the 60-minute that we were looking at for the afternoon, and we were waiting for the break of that high right there. There you go. That's it. So I went long a put on this, and I caught a pretty nice run. I think I got out. I was about 600 a contract on the last piece, and then obviously it ran some more, got away from me. But yeah, it was a good run. It was a good run. Um, Not what I wanted for the day. I wanted the market to push its way up, but that's all right. We'll take that. I think we're getting close to the bottom. We may test that 3,800. We're not that far away. A few bloody days, and we might take that out. So I'm keeping my eye open for that and positioning myself accordingly. Um, and what are we looking at? Really. Oh, something interesting that everybody should keep an eye on, right? So we could look at it two ways. Here is my 50. Let's get closer on that. That broken red line is my fast line. The solid red line is my slow line. This is my 50 and my 100. Boom! That's the death cross, baby. Yeah, that's like officially we are in a bear market. Like you see that death cross, and you got to figure the market's just pushing down, which kind of tells me that we are there for the negative sentiment. I think there's negativity all around. So I think by the end of March, we're going to be looking good as far as the market turning. I mean, barring any unforeseen circumstances, a little chemical war or some uranium yellow cake or something like that, and activity. So we gotta. I mean, that's what we keep our eye on. But again, it's not an official estimation or analysis, but I feel as though we're over negative on the market, and this is a good place for a turnaround. I like the economy. Yeah, interest rates are going to go up. Inflation's a bitch, and the war is going to give us a harder uh, field to navigate. But um, I think we can endure the price hikes, and things will slow down a bit. That can. I think things will organically ease up as far as supply chain and things like that. That can. I mean, obviously, oil is going to be an issue, but even that is overpriced, and it looks like they're bringing oil back. And I wouldn't be surprised if we settle around $80, $85 a share. We're going to have to watch that and see how it goes, but these this is how I feel about everything. But anyway, we're just going to play what the market gives us. So very interesting. My point is that here's the death cross right here. So yeah, that could bounce. I mean, it's not uncommon that this is the target and it bounces. I don't know. I still think we see that 3,800 before the end of March. I had hoped that we would be on our way to it right about now, but may not be the case. Um, at least the 39 range. I have those targets out there right here on this daily chart. I think, which are really the just the old gaps we've left behind that we never filled. That I'm convinced we're going to fill. At the very least, I see the 3,900. If we don't make it to that 3,800. Um, but we did break this reverse micro trend right here to the downside. The momentum seems to be holding up a little bit. So we're going to just have to keep an eye on that. If we break today's low or yesterday's low today, I definitely will be looking for a bearish move. Right now, I don't think the futures are that aggressive. Um, I think we're going to open up flat. And with the Fed out there, I always say I expect a choppy market with the Fed, but as of late, which is like the past 3 or 4 months, oh, the futures have turned around. They're actually green. I would call them flat because we're only up about 10. If we're down 10, I wouldn't be upset either. But I just expect a choppy, flat, range bound market before the Fed. But my expectations have not been met. So that's what I'm watching today. I'm watching a break of today's low. If we trade up, it's going to be an inside bar again, and you just don't get good moves on an inside bar. When you break that inside bar, that's where you get the monster move. So that's what we'll keep an eye on. If we look at the futures, yeah, and we got the 240 up. Um, I'm neutral right there, and we're chopping around. Most of these trend lines we can get rid of. Looks like the momentum's starting to turn. The 30-minute is very bullish. We're not going to chase it. We'll just let it do what it's got to do. Look at it. It's looks like it's pushing up yet again. 60-minute. Yeah, you know what? Look for a head and shoulders. See if this sucker turns around, retraces a little bit, and then pulls up. Look for a head and shoulders right here. Wonder if we could see that on. No, you can't see that on 60-minute on the S&P because that's the trade through the night. So you could keep your eye on the futures during the day and see if it builds that head and shoulders, and it'll give you some insight into what the SPX might be doing. Um, the 10-year grinding its way up, grinding, grinding, grinding. I like that because I've been screaming about TBT, and it's actually doing its job. I think we started getting involved at about 15 on TBT. I got a target of about 28 right now. Once we get to 28, I'll look at it again. It's not impossible to see it somewhere into the 80s. I mean, that's a long way out, but not impossible. First, let's see if we can hit that 28 target, and then we'll reassess everything because that's a matter of the economy and the Fed and geopolitical stuff and see what it's doing. But my whisper number, shall we call it, will be is about 82 right now on TBT. Let's look at Bitcoin, Bitcoin. So, like we keep saying, it's just in a consolidating pattern, man, and very consistent, very consistent. It's not the Wild West of old, which I really appreciate. I think I might get into some Bitcoin futures eventually and start covering that. As far as a trade, I have a few ideas I'm working on just on the live agenda. But just set up the futures platforms and start trading this. Um, because again, it's developing a very very consistent, healthy kind of trading pattern or a very orderly trading pattern. Um, so we're going to just keep talking about it and looking at it and see what happens. But right now, it's just inside this pennant. We don't want it to eat up the pennant too much because it loses energy on the break. We're looking for this thing to move shortly, and this is very long term. I'm sure we could drill down into this bad boy into lower time frames and find a whole bunch of good ones to trade. Um, yeah, you got a small pennant right here that you could watch. Get on there. Get down on it. Yeah, it's just yeah, this is you're gonna start seeing a lot more people come in trading this security, not just the Yahoos from Reddit and the small trading platforms, but you're gonna start seeing some real money. Although I mean, there's plenty of real money, but now it's gonna become a crowded um, environment. We can get rid of this one right here, which is just clouding it. Um, and any indicators you use, I think a lot of momentum indicators would work very well on this. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Yeah, I'm gonna have to take some time and just meditate on this to absorb the trading characteristic of it. But so anyway, if you're looking for a shorter term trade, 60 minute, which is intraday or maybe a couple of days, you could watch this trend. You could even these are Keltner bands, and you could even trade it in between the Keltners when it bounces off. Take the next breaking high, like right here, you would have taken that high, put your stop there, and probably your target would go to the midline. You could start squeezing your stops once you tag that midline. If you break that midline, your target obviously would be the upper, and it looks like it respects it pretty well, at least in this latest trading pattern. I mean, these breaks are intense. Yep, I got more work to do on this before we start messing with it. But looks good, looks good, looks good. AMC, why would you bother? Yeah, there's nothing going on. It broke to the downside. We hit that first target we talked about. Um, the momentum is fading also. It's going to be difficult to figure out the next move. Close that up. There's no, it's not giving us any gaps or anything. I'd say $11 is probably the next move, and I'll bet it falls asleep from there. And just kind of trades around in that arena for quite some time. But that's all right. It'll give Matt an opportunity to buy more. Thank goodness for him. If it wasn't for Matt and all the other yahoos calling out on AMC, I mean, who would be buying it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you wanted to liquidate this thing, you wouldn't have any buyers except for Matt and what is it, trades? I don't want to bash it, but well, I guess I'm bashing. Um, so what else do we got? TBT. URA, wheat. Let's look at wheat. Yeah, we talked about this. Yeah, we compared this move to the meme stock move, and it's floating down. It's going to come down. Expect it to close these gaps. So if you're long or don't go long, I mean, expect it to close these gaps, and then we'll reconsider it at $8. And this is really, I mean, the juice is out of it. I mean, Ukraine and Russia, the depletion of their supply in our environment is figured in the price. It it's not going to deplete more. You can't take away what you took away already. So you're going to have to do some fundamentals on this and figure out what a good price of wheat is going to be. Actually, I think the right move would be to look at rice and corn and all the other alternative flours that are out there. I'm very big into alternative flours because my wife has a gluten theory and she likes to stay away from gluten. So I bake with alternative flours. Although for myself, I use whole wheat flour. But yeah, rice flours and things like that. And you're going to see that that becomes more mainstream. So that might be a trade that you want to look at. Um, Home builders, private thing. XLE, which is energy. And again, all these guys did well. Energy looks kind of stable. I wouldn't really call that a meme trade, although it looks like it's going to consolidate a little bit. And oil's coming down. The hype is in. So if you're looking at these things for the long term, this is this is where this is going back to 71, if you ask me. But if you're looking towards the long term, let these things float down a little bit. The hype came in, the trade was overcrowded, got pushed up. Let it settle down. You'll have a better understanding. Here are precious metals. Did the same thing. Look, nice double top. Pulled back. It broke. It triggered the double top by breaking this low right here. So you could expect it to float down a little bit more. Um, I'm thinking it's going to haircut down here. Yeah, you got another 2 points in it to come down, and then you can start looking at that Labu of biotech. Oh, hold on there, buddy. I have to get back to you. And then one of my free folk are looking at this Mullen Automotives. My baby's just down still. All right. So anyway, I'm in need. So that's it for me today. Check me out live. I'll be streaming. I'll talk with you soon.